How do you assess his ability to get shots through and also to understand when the shot isn't there and he's going to dish it off?
Well, he has that's his game. That's what he brings to the table, and he does a pretty good job of it. He's proven at the American League level that he can run a very good power play and be effective. I like his mobility on the line, the way he can pivot and use both sides of the rink, and he does have a heavy shot. So sometimes when you're recalled, you want to, defer to people around you rather than shooting it. I haven't seen that from Brad. I think he's got to even use it more and get it off a little bit quicker, get it to the net, because that can be a starting point for our power play. We haven't had that much.
5-on-5, has he been?
Yeah, he's been fine. He's proven to have good mobility. He will get tested tonight. Our team will get tested tonight below the tops of the circles and along the boards. I think this has been one of the better teams that we played against early in the year as far as puck protection and using their size, the stalls, those type of players that roll around and protect it really well and then attack your net. So he will get tested in that area, but so will the rest of our team.
When we were in Carolina, was it just a matter of team was just off that day, or was it something that the Hurricanes do to kind of?
Well, they don't get enough credit, first of all, because we could have played that game in against the New York Rangers, and we would be giving New York some credit. They played a very good game. They played a hard game. They're number one face-off team in the league. They give up the fewest number of shots. They're the lowest penalized team. Their penalty kill is real good. There's a lot of really good things that I think that the Hurricanes and their organization and Billy are doing there. So they deserve some credit for that. After that, our input into the game wasn't near as strong and competitive enough as it needed to be. I'd already mentioned that work along the boards and in around the paint, in the face-off circle. The passing, the playmaking, we'll be okay in those areas. It's going to be the grunt type work that we're going to have to perform much better in than we did in their building. And we just, one, we didn't win enough, and two, we weren't engaged enough. So that's a bad formula.
What have you thought of Cam since, you had the 3 quick ones against him in LA, or against LA. You went right back to him. And what have you thought of him since, and maybe the way he rebounded after that?
I thought he's been really good since. And prior to that, we could take 3-minute eraser out or a 2-minute eraser out, really, for that matter. He's played really well. Going all the way back to the Boston game where he entered and saved our bacon that night. But he's played very well. He'll get another opportunity to do that again tonight. But he's confident. The team's confident in how he's been playing. So it's a good marriage there.
The game is sorting itself out with him. But do you like what you see from a competitiveness standpoint? He seems to be harder on himself than anybody in search for answers.
Yeah, that's that's a quality of a good tandem when they take responsibility to begin with rather than pawning it off. And they're always going to do that media-wise. That's what goaltenders and players do. They take that responsibility on themselves first, but it's what happens behind closed doors where they continue to take that responsibility on themselves. They don't point fingers. They don't pawn anything off. They accept the good and the bad, and they work on their game. And I mentioned Dustin Schwartz about a week ago. He's done a tremendous job of working physically and mentally with our goaltenders.
Todd, you're getting two lines of scoring now, with especially from the Nugent-Hopkins line. What have you seen from them in the last week and a half of their resurgence?
I think Benny Pouliot's the key there. Nuge and Ebbs have been up and running and been skating. Benny has, it's been a while since he really got up and going, and we're starting to see him be more productive. He has scored some goals, but the skating and the battling and the execution, clean plays on the ice rather than scrambly plays, they're starting to come from Benny. So that line was effective. We've been able to offset some matches. It's not always Leon going up against some of the big boys. We've been able to use Nuge that way and trying to alleviate some of the workload from Leon for a while. So we may continue that as well.
You take Justin Faulk shot away. It sounds like that's his number one.
Steal his stick. If it was only that easy.
On the power play especially.
Yeah, he's got 12 goals on the power play. He's 65-70% of their goals scored. We talked about Brad Hunt's shot, but I'd put Justin Faulk up there with Brent Burns' ability to change the angle, to snap a shot off without a big swooping wind up and still have some velocity on it. The ability to get it not only by the first layer, but the second layer. It's dangerous all over the rink, and he's got that many goals on the power play for a reason, because he's got that talent.
Just have to get in his face.
Well, we've got to be aware of him. We're aware that he can score from a distance. There's not many guys that can do that, but he can, and we have to be aware of where he is on the power play. We also have to be aware of where he is on the 5-on-5. But we're half a season in. There's been 41 teams that have tried that against him, and he still scored 12. So he's obviously part of the game plan and a focal point of ours, but it's sometimes easier said than done.
Todd, regarding Connor, I just wanted to, when you see him out there, he's taking face-offs, he's doing maybe not everything, but almost everything for a guy who's close. I just wonder if the team, when they see him, they think he might be back sooner than expected, just like fans, when it comes to him being back in the line.
Yeah, well, we're all, we're asking each other, can he play tonight? But that's not real. So we're all aware of him getting closer and him being more involved. And I think he has found a way, and some of the others that have returned to the ice, to energize our group a little bit. We're in the midst of 6 and 9 days, I think, or something like that since Christmas. It's been a tough haul, but throwing those players back on the ice, they energize the group. They're able to take some reps. They're at a high speed. It drags everybody else along, and as soon as we can get them back, we will.
How do you, when a player gets hurt his legs, you just skate him more. When a player's got enough body like he did, how do you just have to do cycling drills and run on the boards and do all those things to make sure?
Yeah, upper body injury allows you to use your legs, and that's important because legs are tied to lungs, and you can keep that part of your game up. You have a tendency to lose your puck skills, your passing skills, your shooting accuracy because you're not using your arms, and vice versa for lower body injuries. You can stick handle a little bit, but you lose legs and lungs. And Connor's been able to work on his legs, work on his lungs, skate a lot, but also get in the gym for his upper body as much as he can. So he's worked hard. He and the rest of our injured troops.